Hello, and welcome back on iKeysRacing, especially with Indycar Racing number 2, the second historic episode of this saga. We are using it for the reproduction, more or less, of the Indy Racing League season 98, where, if we continue, we got 1, 2, 3, 6, 7 races, 2 wins, 2 for Billy Boat, 2 for Tony Stewart, 1 for Greg Ray at the Disney Speedway at the beginning of the season. We go on at Pikes Peak. I do not remember the track, should be okay. Are we in the challenge for the championship? Well, not really, because anyway Billy Boat and Tony Stewart have almost the double of our points, but I never give up, and in general I do not accept for myself to be defeated until the end. At least we scored 2 pole positions, 2 wins, wins within top 5 and top 10. So basically we finished 2 races with 2 wins. At least I hope we will continue to finish races and score points. You never know, maybe also Billy Boat and Tony Stewart can retire at least once before the end of the season. But we arrived to episode number 8 and to race number 8. Let's go to see what we will achieve, also because we have 4 races left, and if you want to battle for the final win, we have to try harder than this. So let's go on, and welcome back on iKeysRacing, and thank you for your views, your likes and your subscription from the bottom of my heart. Thank you very much. Before going to the qualification, I wanted to bring back the steering wheel and my hands included in the cockpit. It's something I did very often previously. Now seems that you like more the original graphic of steering wheel and hands in certain games, especially GTR2 Power and Glory and GT Legends. So I will keep this feature just for Indycar Racing 2 and all the games without a proper steering wheel. But I wanted also to bring you back to what is Joy2Key, an incredible piece of software made by passionate petrol heads and good engineers and good software people that allow you, look here, to actually use buttons on your steering wheel to basically use everything you want, mapping what you need. Also look at here, if I touch here, look at here. So really a perfect integration of buttons present on the normal keyboard transformed and translated into buttons you have on your steering wheel or set of something. So give it a try if you play old games not mapped originally with this feature. I did run around 184, 183, don't remember. It was a 180 here. 183, Greg Ray 185 as in free practice. We will see this car setup if working or not, also for the qualifying session. Qualifying session that sees Billy Boat 187. So if I'm good enough, I will place, I think, in the top 15, not better than this. I show you the car setup. It is named iKeysRacing Race, but has 5 gallons of fuel. Maybe you can use also less. Let's start from tires. Right front, hard for the race. For the qualifying I will use a medium, right rear, left rear, soft, left front, soft. Strangely enough, the stagger, instead of having +1 inch outside, I found myself good with -1 inch internally. If it makes sense or not, I don't know, but it is the way I resolved at the end how to drive. Wings 1740 front, 1640 rear. Suspensions, cambers minus 170, minus 150, 0, minus 060. Shocks, as usual recently, right front 50, right rear 50, internally 100%. Don't ask me why. I find the car more drivable like this. If it is real or not, I don't know. 15 degrees of steering lock as originally from the car setup loaded on this Pikes Peak venue. Gears, the ones you see, and what else? Nothing. So it's like this. We can resume the qualification, and front anti-roll bar originally was like this, mid position for both, but I found a better driving style with the rear end less slipping away with this possibility, with this feature. That's it, wish me luck, let's go on track. Okay, first lap out of the pit. Let's warm up tires. When the car is very light, it's very precise in the driving line. I just must try to not lose speed. Okay, let's go. Almost lost the rear end. 184, P20. Very bad, I would say. Very bad. 1 mile per hour slower than in free practice, and I'm in the pack. How many cars for disappointment? 28. I'm P20. How much? 3 miles far from the best. Seems a tiny difference, but will make all the difference. So maybe a race where just approach the thing with the hope of scoring points more than anything else. Let's go to fulfill the tank and put the right front tire hard, and then let's try this. I don't know how many laps also race. So standings with pole position for Billy Bolt, Tony Stewart, Greg Ray, Buddy Lazier, all the top 4 in 187 miles per hour. Then we have the pack of 186, Robbie Buell, Scott Goodyear, Mark Dismore, Kenny Brack, Scott Sharp, Eddie Cheever, Jeff Ward, Ari Liondeck, Sam Schmidt, Davey Hamilton, P14. Then the pack of the 185 miles per hour with Bobby Unser, Buzz Hawkins, Eliseo Salazar, my teammate, maybe yes, Donny Bichler, John Paul Jr. and us starting with the 84 like Stéphane Grégoire. I was saying Eliseo Salazar because I do not remember the other Riley and Scott chassis is used by, yes, Eliseo Salazar for what I remember. Yes, so we can go to the next session. The warm-up will be jumped, race, just to be sure to reload the car setup. So we had tires, compound, hard, medium, soft, the stagger minus 1 inch, fuel 40 gallons, 1 degree of difference between front and rear wings, suspension, shocks were 50-50, 100-100 respectively outside inside. What else? Gears. That's it. So we can go to race. So the race will be of how many laps? 200. should be okay. The risk will be to avoid to cook the engine, because in 50 gear I reached the maximum allowance of temperature. Anyway, let's prepare for the start. Touched immediately with Gregoire, maybe. Okay, 2 position stolen. Let's stay internally. I don't want to risk too much at the beginning. The car becomes very understeering with the load of fuel, so maybe we can play a bit with anti-roll bars. Back to P18. P16, some positions up, with Eliseo Salazar on our right side, with the Riley and Scott, same chassis. Touch with Eliseo, yellow flags, no, luckily, okay, let's go on. .200 laps at 30 seconds per lap should be a 100 minutes race, so 1 hour and 40 maybe. So prepare to sleep a bit. Fourth, fifth and sixth gear will be used massively here, because it's the way I have found myself to be decently competitive. Okay, 35 gallons and the car starts to be a bit understeering, so maybe we can maybe do like this. Eliseo, ciao ciao. Now we are the first Riley and Scott classified so far. I keep the turbo boost at 9 at the beginning. I'm saving a bit fuel with the 6th gear. Now maybe first overlapped cars are in between. Past Robbie Buell, the Team Menard teammate of Tony Stewart. It's a P13, one position to enter within the first 12 cars scoring points today. I'm not pushing too much, just looking at events and how the race can unfold. P11, 14 laps in the books. Here we are, I knew it. Was pushing too much, and rear right tire suffers a bit at this point. So we can evaluate to use a hard compound when we will stop. And first thing first, maybe play again with anti-roll bars. So increase the front, decrease the rear. Should be less oversteering, sorry. In America they used to say if the car pushes or pulls for understeering, pushes for oversteering. Let's keep an eye for a brief moment to temperatures. Touch the wall. Because the rear right tire is really to the limit, 269, 268, from 270 the temperatures, internal, mid and external, go all above the limit. So it's a request we can do to our pit crew, if I remember how to change it, maybe with some buttons I do not remember in this moment. And it's not time to make changes. Because yes, it is the now my keyboard is in Spanish. I mean, I will show you with the picture-in-picture what I mean. There is a button to be clicked to make changes to the compound. That is not the same button to play with the pressures, because as you can see the temperatures are perfectly aligned internally, externally and in between, so shouldn't be an issue. I'm not worried about the left rear, honestly. A bit of fight with Eliseo Salazar. So yes, maybe we can go back to the classification, at least you see where we are. P16. $25 gallons of fuel. It's almost 4 times in liters. So we started with 40 gallon. So 160 liters each, 150. And now almost half of the tank used. After how many laps? 28. So maybe we will do 60 laps per tank refilled entirely. So it may bring us to 3 pit stops. $60, $120, $180, and maybe a splash and go in the end. But maybe as a consideration we will do with the last pit stop. There will be maybe yellow flags. Touched with the back marker. Maybe yes, sorry. Do I have to repair the car? No. Luckily. The 16 and 16 seconds from the leaders. It's half of a lap. Well, almost a lap. So very soon we will be overlapped. The car obviously runs much better below 25-20 gallons of fuel, much lighter and much performing. Now what I want to understand if with this pace we will cover for real 60 laps. Maybe a bit less. Oh well, yes, 60 to 70 laps, because 32 laps left with 18 gallons, yes. And I don't like to be in the pack, but in 6th gear, in this first phase, I'm trying to understand the car more than anything else. At least for one full stint, then maybe we can decide to use the 5th gear, have more power. Actually, take and keep the engine high revs at 220 water temperature in Fahrenheit. Technically the engine blows up or starts to overheat and then blows up, but you become quicker obviously. But if I do want to stay in the lap of the leaders, there's no other way. So maybe yes, let's see, this first stint raced in 6th gear, resting, allowing the engine to rest. then maybe the second stint would be a bit different. I think it's Tony Stewart the leader. There's a yellow image in our mirrors. Yes, he is. And as soon as you use the fifth gear, you have seen a red light appearing in the cockpit. But definitely today I don't have the pace to actually fight for the win, differently from the previous races, or at least the previous one. We have won. And following another car brings the temperature of the engine at 220, bottom left corner, if you can see the dashboard. Not a good sign, indeed. But here you don't have the possibility to change the size of the radiator, so you get what you get. And you play with it. Past Harry Lyondike, what a honor. One of the most successful Indy driver, Indycar, IRL and so on driver. So maybe we can reduce by one notch the turbo booster. Let's try to stay in the draft and in the slipstream of Tony Stewart. Lyondike touched me on the left. Yellow flag. We pass. The start finish line. There were cars stopping. Good. Maybe they knew it. We will do the same. Good. Let's see. Also the position at the end. Hard compound, perfect. I don't remember if it is 60 miles per hour or 80, maybe 80, but I don't want to risk, and then don't have a reference with another car. And still one lap down, so also Tony Stewart stopped and kept the leadership. Let's go to see. Oh, now Billy Bott leading, Tony Stewart, Kenny Brack, Greg Ray, Scott Sharp, Cheever, Hamilton, Buell, Dismore, Schmidt, Lazier, Goodyear, Ward, Answer. I think we are few seconds from the P12. No, we have Tony Stewart at the back. I see the car, okay. And will be not maybe very easy to catch those positions. You never know until you know. Let's wait the green flag. Back again. While in the meantime we raced 60 laps out of 200, so one full third almost gone. Back to position 9 for the turbo boost. Let's try to get rid of some back markers. And no, not the way I wanted. So let's go back with anti-roll bars, medium position for both. Let's burn some fuel. Now the second stint, let's try to be a bit aggressive. Because we know that driving in 6th gear we save the fuel a bit. But we get one lap because the engine doesn't give everything that it can give. So let's try the 5th, a bit shorter, a bit aggressive and high revving while exiting corners. We will wait until the engine will go close to 220 Fahrenheit. Temperature, and then we will reduce the turbo boost. This is my mistake. Yellow flags. Something to repair? No. Sorry if I don't do a mistake at every race with IndyCar. I'm not happy. Let's repack. Who knows if it is a usual yellow flag needed, like AJ Foyt used to say, when you actually create a yellow flag. Back, no, down to P19, so I've lost something, that's for sure. Okay, one lap until green. Will not touch anti-roll bars anymore, just trying to do what the car asks. To adapt the style, the driving style to the cars. No, if I push too much then I lose everything, so back to the old strategy. 5th gear, yes, but don't push too much. I think we can score points. I just need to be more focused. In the next 123 laps left. Not overdriving the car, basically. Okay, here we are. Engine suffering. You go down one notch with the turbo boost. Takes a while to go back to a normal temperature, obviously. It's not immediate. Down to P7 for the turbo boost. But being in the draft of many cars will not help. With the hot air coming. Ooh, another yellow flag. Stay behind 81. Now we stay out, or we go in. $25 sorry, gallons. It's like 100 liters. We can maybe play the gamble. Actually changing now everything, and now hoping that the other will stop during a green period. Also because half of the race almost gone. It's a 60 or 80 miles per hour. What a pity that I do not do live streaming. It could have helped me with the chat. Okay, at least we are just in the leading lap. Who is at the top now? Kenny Brack, Billy Bott, Greg Ray, Tony Stewart down to 4th, Eddie Tudor 5th, Robbie Buell, Dismore, Schmidt, Lazier, Sharp, Ward, Hamilton, Goodyear, Bichler, Anser, Lionel, Salazar. At least I hope to arrive in front of Salazar, but I do really think it's possible to score points today. Now it will be just a matter of having one more stop, maybe. I don't know. One stop for sure. If we were all refilled like before, all the others will have each 25 gallons, 20 gallons, so they will have to stop in maybe 20 laps, and if will be... Ooh, wake up, Marco. If it will be a green period, much better. Well, at least we start from the back, so we just have to make passes. Back to P9 with a turbo boost, full throttle. You may hear blue whistling in the background. Not a good way to overlap, killing the others. Okay, no, they are not suffering, but obviously we have less grip with the hard compound. So if you see me slip away with the rear end, it's my fault for the driving style, not for the tire overheating on the right rear position like before, like on the first stint. Okay, 2 notches down to make the engine breathe. It's a P20 where I cannot catch easily John Paul Jr., famous son of the famous drug dealer, never caught by the police, international police, despite him pouring a lot of money from drug deal. Sorry, drug business in the 80s. A bit of fuel. The 6th gear. Back to P9 with the turbo. Let's attack again. Oof. At least David Hamilton passed. Let's go. Difficult today, very difficult. Let's see, now it could be the moment where many will go to stop, more or less. In green condition, hopefully for us. Two laps down. What a story. Now makes him... Oh, many cars stopping, good. I've seen many stopping now. Two more. P15. One lap down. The stop should take at least 20-25 seconds, if not more. P11. Marco. P10. In the lap of the leaders. We are lighter, they are heavier. We should have an advantage. The same disadvantage we had stopping where was not supposed to happen will become our strength now. But obviously the first yellow flag will be mandatory to stop, to not lose the advantage had so far. go down also with the boost. 2 notches. Some laps of, let me call it, assessment, because now I have to crawl as long as possible to nail a yellow flag moment to refill. So it's almost a standby attitude. 68 laps to go. So I'm trying to stretch this stint as much as possible. Oof. Stupid, 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 stupid. Okay, go to the pit maybe to repair also the car. Maybe. A little bit to arrive to the end. Yes, no, was not meant to be repaired. P12. Still behind 77. Who is 77? This one. Okay, P12 with 60. 5 laps to go. Maybe we can try the gamble to stop, to not stop now anymore, sorry, and hope without causing another yellow flag that the others will stop in 30 laps maybe. 1 lap until green, 64 to go. Let's see when we will be at full throttle. How long this car will last. Yes, the car has all the fuel needed to finish the race. That's a good point. Maybe we can play a bit with the turbo and accurately then use the boost accordingly, sorry, to the fuel usage. Okay, 1 notch down, we are consuming too much. We'll be really at the limit. $59 to do, 64 in the tank, 1 lap down, but I want to keep a buffer just in case the others will stop during a green moment of the race, a green flag moment of the race. touch the wall twice. Because I'm fighting, I don't know with who, if it is a matter of overlapping or something else. Down with the boost, P7, consuming too much. .56 in the tank, 52 to go. 4 laps of buffer-ish. And in front of me there is a C.A.R.T P11. Behind is IRL1998 half a second. Anyone stopping? Maybe retiring? No? Passed C.A.R.T, IRL1998 also passed C.A.R.T. Now Jeff Ward, let's see how far he is. 3.2 seconds. So let's play a bit with the fifth gear. Let's see if we can catch him. 3.2 before, 3.4 now. Now 3.4, 46 to go, 49 in the tank, 3.6, so it's not a pace I can hope to catch Jeff Ward. This gives me a buffer on IRL1998. IRL1998 passed. Back to P12, touched again the wall. Bad driving today. Do we have to repair? No, thankfully. So now the only hope is they will stop, let's say, if not now, in 10 to 20 laps. And also Scott Goodyear is back, trying to steal our single point. Yes, P13, I'm slow. Scott Goodyear in the mid in P12 with a Pennzoil yellow colored G-Force, Dallara, I don't remember. 2 laps down maybe now, because this black and red car is one of the leaders. With the Nokia sponsorship there is IRL1998. He's not fighting with us, and the thinking is because we have lost so many positions while pitting during yellow, the others I think stayed out. 2 laps down very soon. No, P14, this is Scott Sharp. Two positions out of points. If I'm waiting for a last pit stop during a green condition, I will feel very idiot if it will not happen. Even if it will happen, it may happen during a yellow moment, yellow flag moment. I may feel idiot anyway, because I'm just crawling, like in an endurance race, I'm just crawling to the end, just saving fuel in the possibility that someone will stop before the end of the race. And if it will happen in 29 laps, well, P14, so someone stopped. Let's see the others. If not, I will run like hell in the last 20 laps. So slow that I don't even have to lift here anymore. Three laps to a final rush attitude to grab two positions. If it will happen, will happen. If not, I do remember the Chris Dyer, race engineer of Kimi Raikkonen, back in the days, 2007, last race, Brazil Grand Prix. Hey Kimi, by my calculation, will win the championship by 1 point. For what is unfolding and developing here in this race, by my calculation, I am an idiot. P12, P11, P10. Anyone else? One lap down. Thank you. It's yellow flag. I will stay out. P9. Whoa! They stopped in the middle. The car now doesn't turn anymore, so let me go to the pits. Yes, but not with come on, very quick, please. I've not seen the... I was in the points. The strategy was correct. But now we will push like hell. I don't care. P12, P13. Come on. The functions of the car that haven't seen the car stopping so heavily behind me. So it will be a 15 race. Final stint. With a bit more than needed fuel, but we will run like hell. I promise. Damned. I've lost for a second the view on the asphalt. Could have stayed out, but 13 laps without the front wing could have been a disaster. We are still in the game to play our possibilities to grab a couple of points. We are quicker than Lyondike, Goodyear and Ward. The thing is to nail a perfect restart. 11 laps. Thank you, Jeff Ward. Eight to go. Engine is blowing up. Six to go. Five to go. Four to go. Come on, full power, 3 laps to go, I must do it. One lap to go. Nothing more. Nothing more. P9. I was anyway 1 lap from Tony Stewart. Okay, so I was rushing to catch the violet car there, and was not necessary. So the strategy was good. Me stupid to crash actually into a quickly slowing down car. Could have been much better, maybe. We will see the classification in a couple of seconds. I hope you enjoyed at least the last part of the race, especially the last maybe 40 laps, where we currently tried to kill the strategy, the engine, whatever, waiting for something to happen. It happened. Not entirely in the way I was waiting for, but sometimes if you don't have an engineer, you actually need to put an eye on what the others are doing. So let's go with the standings. So we have Kenny Brack winning and leading the majority of the laps. Greg Ray, Dismore on the podium. Buddy Lazier, Eddie Cheever, Sam Schmidt 4th, 5th and 6th. Hamilton, Stewart, As 7th, 8th, 9th. Jeff Ward, Scott Goodyear, Ari Lyondike. Let's go to see, maybe we can save it. So standings, okay, done, exit. So points will be distributed as 21 for Kenny Brack, original winner of this season, if I'm not wrong. 16 for Greg Ray, 14 Mark Dismore. Sorry, Kenny Brack, because actually led the majority of laps and won 20 plus 1. Greg Ray 16, 14 Dismore, 12 Lazier, 10 Cheever, 8 Schmidt, 6 Hamilton, 5 Stewart, 4 Haas, Jeff Ward 3, Scott Goodyear 2, Harry Linebeck 1, who was the pole sitter. Billy Bott retired after 131 laps for an electrical problem. So maybe now the classification is a bit shorter, because Billy Bott just scored 1 pole position, 1 point. Tony Stewart got 5 points and 4 for us, yes. So Greg Ray regained a bit, Kenny Brack regained a bit. So wow, we are still in the, let me say, top area of the classification. This is our 3rd time in the top 10, not bad. And we finished another race, so not bad at all. And I must say, it's much better than I was thinking before starting this race. Yes, obviously with 3 races to go, there are the maximum of 66 points to be awarded, so I think our real possibility is maybe a P4 at the end. I mean, I'm not going to win 3 races in a row with 3 pole positions and leading 3 times in 3 different appointments, but I'm not, let's say, disappointed by myself once in my lifetime, because it is not an easy game. The majority of choices about differ 100% values of shocks internally and 50 outside helped me a lot to drive more in comfort. Sometimes playing with the stagger -1, +1 helps me at least to try something, and I must admit I feel much better than in previous 2 seasons. So studying a bit more and practicing and trying to do something different a bit more for the car setup helps, and not with a tiny advantage. I mean, it's a quantum leap into actually driving, as I have always hoped to do with this game. So thank you very much for voting back years ago to stay offline and with GT Legends, and to stay in the championship for IndyCar continuing seasons one by one, because I'm learning something. When I learn something, I'm always more than happy. And that's it. At this point, 48 points dividing us from the leadership. Maybe Billy Bott will not retire anymore. Maybe it will happen to Tony Stewart or Greg Ray. I think we can concentrate on Kenny Brack and Buddy Lazier about a possible P4 at the end. Let's see, race by race. The next race will be by night at Atlanta. Very nice. I do not remember at all the track, but will be anyway turning left, so will be easier. And we have a new winner of the season, because Kenny Brack wins for the first time. So we had 2 double winners, Tony Stewart, Haas and Billy Bott, 1 for Greg Ray, 1 for Kenny Brack. 3 races left, we will see what will happen. So far, so good. So thank you very much for watching. I hope this format will anyway continue to be liked by you, and see you in the next one. Stay very well, best wishes, bye bye, ciao, stay into Indy Racing, arigato, spasiba, dankeschön, merci beaucoup, muchas gracias, obrigado, thank you very much, grazie, and see you very soon. Bye, ciao ciao, thank you.